Hello, friends. We gather here together to mourn the loss of a friend. That's the Hilton Honors business card. So, as of today, the time I recorded this, I no longer have the Hilton Honors business card. And I'm going to talk to you about why. But before we do that, I want to ask you guys to like and subscribe. Doing that helps me and YouTube know that what I'm doing is, well, helpful for people like you. And by doing that, that helps more people to view the content, something I'm really appreciative of. Okay, now that that's out of the way, let's get into why I unmercifully killed my Hilton Honors business card. So, why did I get it? So, exactly 1 year ago, I picked up the Hilton Honors business card because, well, my wife and I were planning to go to Europe, right? And so we knew that in December, so in 6 months from, so 6 months ago, we were in Europe and we wanted to start stockpiling points of any kind, right? And so I knew that Hilton was going to be in there somewhere. So I actually signed up I got the 130,000 point offer. Now I had to spend $8,000 over the course of the first 6 months of having the card in order to get that 130,000 points through Hilton. And so having that sign up bonus was really huge. In fact, I actually used this card to pay for a lot of the stuff when I paid for my Conrad stay. So that was 4 nights at the Conrad in London. I paid for it with this card. When I booked the Eurostar, I paid for it with this card. And I'll get into why in a little bit, but this card has an annual fee of $195. And it's almost cheap in the eyes of American Express, right? So the American Express Gold card is $325. The American Express Green card is $150. The American Express Platinum card is $695, and they're jacking up those numbers pretty quickly, right? So this card is almost cheap, but it also comes with a lot of benefits. So we're going to get into the multipliers on this card. We're going to talk about how I use this card and why I'm getting rid of it. So this card, so it has a $195 annual fee. It earns 12 points per dollar at Hilton properties. Now, this is 12 points per dollar just for using the card, but you still get a lot of points for being a Gold Elite member with Hilton. So, you're 12 points per dollar for using the card on top of any points you get from your Hilton loyalty status. And then you get 5 points per dollar on every single purchase. Now, this is kind of a superpower of this card because if you're someone who knows that you're going to be using your points for Hilton stays, this card earns better than the Blue Business Plus. And to boot, this one has a higher limit. So in the Blue Business Plus, it has no annual fee, but it earns 2 American Express membership reward points per dollar up to $50,000 in spend, and then it earns 1.5x after that. However, on the Hilton Business Card, it earns 5 points per dollar on Hilton up to the first $100,000 in spend per calendar year, and it earns 3 points per dollar on everything else. And so if you're someone who knows that you're going to put your Blue Business Plus membership reward dollars towards Hilton, that's going to be 4 Hilton points per dollar, right? Because it's 1 membership reward point to 2 Hilton points. So if you know that you're going to be using your spend to earn Hilton points, you might as well earn this because you get that extra point per dollar on a far greater limit, right? And so that's very cool, right? This is a kind of a superpower of this card. If you are in the Hilton ecosystem, this is kind of the way to go. Of course, because it's American Express, this has a coupon book, right? So it has up to $240 in Hilton credit each year. Now, it has to be, this is the one where it can be directly with a property, but you can also use the prepaid rate. And so what I've been using is, to be clear, I've used it in every single quarter this year because one quarter I prepaid for the hotel. The second quarter, I stayed at a hotel and used this card there. So I got that full $120. And then I did the same thing for the second quarter or the second half of the year as well. So I have used the full $240 of this card. But I also have the American Express Business Platinum card, and that has its own $200 Hilton credit. And so this Hilton credit is also quarterly, which means I have 2 cards right now that earn quarterly Hilton credits, and that's a lot of things to juggle, right? So nobody wants to go to the front desk of the Hilton and say, I'm going to be paying this bill with 3 different credit cards because, well, I want to make sure I get the $60 in credit here, the $50 on my Business Platinum card, and then I want to get the 14 points per dollar on my Aspire card. And probably the resort credit if that's available as well. So I'm basically getting rid of this because I want to have a little bit more simplicity in my life, right? Simplicity. But also, there's a lot of really good options with this card. So if you don't have Hilton status, this one gives you Hilton Honors Gold status. And that one gives you your food and beverage property credits in the United States and gives you free access to your continental breakfast overseas. And so that's pretty nice as a perk, right? Now you can use this card to upgrade to diamond status, but you have to spend $40,000 on this card in a year, which is a lot, right? If you're going to get diamond status, just pay the $550, get the Hilton Aspire card, and be done with it, right? You don't need that. Now, you also do with this, you get the Emerald Club Executive status, which is really helpful. I really love National. I really love the fact that I can just go and pick up whichever car I want. I don't really have to talk to anybody. That's really nice. And, well, we're pretty much done with the benefits of this card now. So why am I giving up on this card? So here's the thing. From a perspective of value, right? I got the 130,000 points. I got at least probably $600 or $700 worth of value out of those points through my vacations. On top of that, I've used each of the $240 quarterly credits, right? So I've gotten $240 in value from this card on top of the $600 to $700 value from the sign-up bonus. That far outweighs the $195 annual fee. So yeah, simplicity is part of the equation, right? I don't want to have to deal with too many quarterly credits. However, there's another reason why I'm getting rid of this card, and well, some of you probably already know why. See, American Express has an internal limit per person of how many credit cards they are willing to give you. And this is specifically for credit cards. It doesn't include charge cards. That has its own little limit as well. But for me, that limit is 5. I am able to get 5 credit cards. So these are revolving balance cards that aren't charge cards across my personal lines and my business lines. And that is the limit, right? So because I have this card, there are a bunch of cards that I can't get. And we'll talk about what I can't get and why that might be important to me. So here's the thing. I already have the Blue Business Plus. I love the Blue Business Plus, and I have started to use it as my everyday YouTube business expense card, right? So when I have my Asana membership, I use that for that. For my Adobe Stock membership, I use that as well. For my my StreamYard subscription, I use my Blue Business Plus. And I did get that 15,000 point sign-up bonus. However, there is currently a no lifetime language offer flying around of 75,000 points on the Blue Business Plus. So if I were able to cancel this card, wait a little bit, and be able to apply for that card and get that sign-up bonus, I would much rather have that 75,000 point sign-up bonus and then also get another year of no interest purchases on that Blue Business Plus. That could be really helpful for expanding my business, right? I'd like to get a nicer camera. I'd like to get some other things like a better computer, things like that. And so having that card could really go a long way towards making that happen. And then that 75,000 points would really go a long way towards making a super redemption that I'm doing with me and a couple other friends to Scotland next year. And so the Hilton Business Card, despite the fact that I'm able to use all of the benefits, it doesn't really fit in with my current strategy. Now, let's take a look at another one. So if I don't get the no lifetime language offer for the Blue Business Plus, I'm not just going to get a second Blue Business Plus for the fun of it. What I really kind of want to do is I would love to try to get the Hilton Surpass card. So, and that's part of the reason why the simplicity really isn't there isn't the key driving reason for dropping this card, right? So, because the Hilton Surpass card has quarterly credits as well. So let's take a look at that. So the Surpass card has an introductory annual fee of $0. Now, the normal annual fee is $150, but it has a wonderful sign-up bonus right now. It's supposed to be limited time for 130,000 Hilton Honors points after spending $3,000 in the first 6 months of having the card. So this is a solid offer, one that will be ending soon. And so I probably won't actually qualify for that, but the Hilton Surpass regularly gets higher sign-up bonuses. So I'm going to probably wait in the next month or two, see what happens there, and try my luck at getting this if I can't get the Blue Business Plus no lifetime language offer. So this offer is really strong. And what I would really like to do as well is after I get the sign up bonus, if I could go ahead and upgrade it to another Aspire card, because I do have an Aspire card. If I could get an upgrade bonus to a second Aspire, that would really be incredible. And the reason why is because I really love the Hilton Aspire cards or the free night award that you get once you hold the card. Wait a month or so and then it hits your Hilton account and you can use it. And so having 2 free night awards every single year, greatly subsidized through the resort credits through Hilton and the airfare credits through the Hilton Aspire cards, would be really helpful and really make my future travel easier to do. So not only would I get more bonus points through the sign up bonus, but I could also then turn it into an Aspire card, and that could really help make my travel really, really better. Now, the Hilton Surpass card gets 12 points per dollar on hotels, so it's very similar to the business card, but it also gets 6 points per dollar on dining, which is a little bit weaker if you were to use the gold card, but it's still nice. It does that on groceries as well. And then it gets 6x on gas, which is really interesting. And then 4x on online purchases. So the multipliers are not bad, but then this card also gives you gold status, which I don't really care about because I have diamond status with my Aspire card, but it's worth mentioning. But then it has that Hilton credit, so it has $50 in quarterly statements of Hilton, and so having the Surpass and having the Business Platinum, I can do. I'd really rather not, but like between the sign up bonus and everything else, the value makes sense for that card. So that's my second option. Now, if I'm still in pop-up jail for the Surpass card, I might just try for another Delta card, right? So I could do the personal Delta Gold and then get more sign-up bonuses for the Delta cards, or I could even do the Business Platinum card as well, because I have the Business Gold card. I could get the Business Platinum card and then get a really strong head start towards getting Delta status, which my wife and I are starting to use Delta more, so that might actually help. Now, one fun thing about the Surpass card is if you spend $15,000 on it, you do get a free night award, and that can be really helpful if you're planning on using this as your one-stop card, right? So the Hilton Business Card is nice, but it's kind of a casualty of current existing American Express policies. So I really would value, first of all, having another Blue Business Plus or having a Surpass card or even another Delta card in my wallet over having, this business card that's not really doing anything for me now that I've earned the sign-up bonus. But anyway, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate you guys. And, I can't wait to see you guys until next time. Bye.